allowed. Okay, so all of this seems fine and dandy. Let me see what does our network manager here says. Wired off on. Let's turn it off. Actually on, sorry. There we go. So if we type in ping google.com, this is going to work. Excellent, we're getting a reply. Let's clear the screen. Now let us go ahead and type in ifconfig. This command might be familiar to you because in Windows you would type in ipconfig, but here you will type in ifconfig. Press enter and you will get a few interfaces down below. So we are at the moment using this interface, ENP0S3, and this is the IP address. Yours might be a bit different depending on how your router or your computer assigns these things, depending how your connection is set up. Completely irrelevant. What you need is your functioning interface, and then you need to know the IP address of that interface, and you will need to confirm that you don't actually need to be connected to internet for this because we are doing everything internally, which is kind of convenient for us, but for the time being I want you to know where you can actually find your IP address. Go ahead and clear the screen, type in yum, same as in Red Hat, yum search SSH, press enter, and this is gonna will consume a little bit of your time until it actually figures it out, and there you go. So there is open SSH server x86-64. This is what we will need. So if we go ahead and clear the screen and type in yum install and then paste in this particular file, press enter, the installation will run. Of course it won't. We need to be root. Sometimes I forget these things, I don't know why. So go ahead and type in yum install. I sincerely hope that the screen and the terminal are large enough. I can see them clearly, and I'm sitting quite some distance away from my screen. So I hope that all of you can see it as well. But then again, I have pretty good sight. Press enter, and this will begin the installation procedure. But since another application is holding yum locked, which is my pending updates, I will need to kill it first, and that we're going to deal with this in the follow-up tutorial where we will continue because I am running a bit short on time here. Welcome back, everybody. Let's just go ahead and go back into the terminal. Now you might have noticed that I spread this across the whole screen, and I'm not sure if this white color is killing you or not. I have also installed VirtualBox guest editions, and I've ran updates, so all I did was yum update. That's it. And I have installed VirtualBox guest editions. The procedure is exactly the same as it is with Red Hat. Now let me just go ahead and do this. So preferences and profiles unnamed. We need to edit that. What shall we place? So colors. Excellent. So I will use exactly the same colors as I have used them there, as I have used them on Red Hat as well. So last time we've tried to install the OpenSSH server, but we have failed. I have failed miserably, primarily because the yum packet manager was actually occupied with the package kit. So what we need to type in is yum again. Let's just go ahead and type in search SSH. The way you would handle that error that we got previously, where we were locked with package kit, is following. Let the search just finish, and then I'll show you. So ps -ef. Actually, we can do this aux grep, and then the name of the process which is occupying your time. So I'm sure you know this option for your case. Package. Now I've killed it, but a moment ago it was actually running. So I've managed to isolate the PID of the process, and then I just wrote kill and then the PID number here. That's it. That's all I needed to do, and then yum ran. I have showed you some of these things and how you can do them in the previous tutorials. So just go ahead and type in yum install now, and where is it? Let's see, which one do we need? An open source implementation of SSH protocol version 1 and 2. I am going to take this one for the time being, and then later on we will install some additional services as well. Oh yeah, of course I need to be root, so let us become root. I tend to forget this from time to time. Common error. It will happen to you as well. There is very little that you will be able to do in order to prevent it, but then again, it's not really an error. You just lose 2 seconds of your time, and that is it. Excellent. So it says package OpenSSH is already installed and latest version. Now this is good news indeed, since we don't need to actually spend any time on the installation, but here is the installation command, the one that is selected now on the screen. So yum install OpenSSH.x8664, and that is pretty much all you really need to do in order to install it. Now let me just see if we need something else. No, I do not believe that we do. Excellent. So let's just go ahead and clear the screen. Oh, by the way, if you're using a 32-bit version, it's you won't get the 64-bit version. Your search will actually return 32-bit versions which you can install. Just the way that the repositories are configured. Anyway, now that we have finished up our installation, we do need to open up our firewall. Now, firewall is a subject which we will cover in a separate tutorial, of course, because it is rather broad and all of that. But for the time being, I will show you a single command and how you can edit IP tables, which is basically a Linux firewall. The very first thing you need to do is go ahead and type in IP tables, which is a command. Do not worry if you do not understand the whole command or if some portions of it remain unclear to you, because as I said, there will be a separate tutorial dealing with Linux Firewall. Linux Firewall is basically IP tables, and I will explain in far greater detail available options there, and I will demonstrate how you can configure firewalls, Linux Firewall further. But for the time being, I would like to insert a rule into position 1 insert a rule into accept. Not into accept, into input. So we see there we go, with tab into input at position 1. I would like to specify a protocol which will be TCP, and the port, which will be my destination port. This will be 22 because SSH is configured to function on port 22 by default. Furthermore, I will need to type in J, the command. What do we expect the system to do? So accept it. And that's really it. That's all you need to type in. And now port 22, bad argument. Okay, let's go ahead and have a look. IP tables -h. Actually, let's just try this. There we go. So I was just missing one hyphen there, and if we do IP tables -l input, you can see that my very first rule in the chain is TCP with the destination port for SSH. 22 is the standard port for SSH. We will be, of course, able to change that at will to pretty much give it a choice from a wide. We'll be able to give it another port from a wide range of port choices a bit later on. For the time being, you need to punch a hole in your firewall in order